Here again at West Coast Cruise, we're honored to have as our annual guest, Mr. Neil Emory from the famous Valley Customs. And I'm going to turn the mic over to Neil and let him go through some of the cars that he's built in the past, and I'm sure you'll all recognize many of them. Here you are, Neil.
Thank you. Well, Valley Custom goes back quite a few years. We were originally started in 1949, latter part of 48. We were in Burbank, California. At that time, we were extremely heavy in street roadsters. And a good many of the roadsters that we built were complete bodies. These bodies were shipped around to the various companies and individuals that had sent them to us. One of the more famous bodies that we built was for Dick Flint, who happens to be here today. His roadster had an all-aluminum Indy type front end built on it that people will look back years ago and see the National Hot Rod Association's logo. His car was used as a profile for the logo for 12 or so years before they developed the drag strip car that they used in the following years. Other cars at that time that we were building, a number of show cars and minor type of customs for a lot of the fellows that were still only had a few dollars to spend and try to build a car that would meet their pocketbook. A lot of these cars were used even in those days for cruises such as you have now, only on a much smaller scale. That's the beauty of today. Most of these cars have disappeared in the woodwork or buried in somebody's garage these days, but there's a lot of people still looking for them. Used to do a number of the convertible tubs back in 38, typical putting a 40 type of front end on earlier models. One of the section jobs that we did was on a 40 Merc tub. That car has been shown over a good many years. But we probably did more section work on more cars than any of the shops in that period of time through the 50s, because most everybody wanted to do a drastic cut on the roof, so our style was more or less one of a kind. A good many of the cars we left the top windshield heights original. Some of them we'd cut them very minor, an inch or two perhaps, if they were over exaggerated. These days we're working out of Fallbrook, California. We're available basically by phone, which our phone number out there is area code 619-728-3803. We're only contracting and doing single cars at a time these days, other than a line of Porsches that we do normally for all of the Porsche collectors around the country. And we have one Porsche that we've finished up that's in the museum at the factory in Germany. But we're getting back to doing more in single car customs than we've done in a good many years. But it's been a pleasure talking to you people. Thank you.